anytime getting anything done in business is difficult, but it's almost impossible when you're working at a Fortune, say 50 or 100 company. How did you get through the bureaucracy and convince at the time Microsoft to let you start basically a corporation within a corporation, this incredible pet project, this passion, this hobby you had, basically wanting to turn around the computer like tens of millions of other people out there that you saw, probably similar to yourself, that wanted to do it. How did you get this done, which is almost a skill within itself, navigating in a big bureaucracy?
You know, the temptation will be to talk about me and how courageous I am and smart and everything like that. But truthfully, I was in an unbelievable corporate environment. And Microsoft in the early 90s was a pretty small company. When I started at Microsoft, there were maybe 2,500 or 3,000 people that worked at the company, so it was still small. I was part of a group of people that were called product managers, and there weren't many of us. We were kind of like the part business, part product people, part engineers. And there weren't many of us, and we had reviews with Bill Gates frequently. So I, as a really young guy, got to go and pitch my ideas and share the status of my businesses with Bill Gates and get his feedback. You know, and it was a little nerve-wracking because Bill had quite a reputation, especially as a young man, for volatility and candid expressions of frustration.
Did he live up to the reputation?
He did, but I was able to get in front of him at one of these product reviews and pitch him on this idea as almost like a venture capitalist pitch. And I give him and Steve Ballmer, who I worked for a few years, a tremendous amount of credit for enabling somebody in the bowels of a big company to have an idea and make it come to life.
But take us in that initial meeting. What is their reaction, and what is your pitch to them, and what is their reaction, and what are some of the questions that Bill and Steve are asking at the time to a young, rich Barton?
All right, so I won't go through the whole history. My first job was a product manager of DOS 5. Who remembers DOS 5? Feature? Anybody remember the feature?
We're all dating ourselves here.
Okay. What was it?
What was that?
The feature that, like, DOS 5 was the biggest selling piece of software of all time as an upgrade, and it was because of HighMem.sys. There are no real laughs out there. Okay, maybe. Anyway,
is that extended or expanded memory?
There we go. There we go. We got it. Anyway, we don't need to go into that, but I had a side project that I was working on that was to try to create an Encarta for travel, like an encyclopedia on CD-ROM for travel. And I was given that project, and I spent a few months on it, and I decided it was stupid and small, and that we'd never get very big. And so my first product review with Bill Gates and Steve Ballmer on this Encarta for travel was, we shouldn't do it, it's stupid, it's small. But I showed them a service on Prodigy and CompuServe, which were the online services before the internet. And that service allowed people to look up flight schedules and prices. And I showed that to them. I said, if we want to do something in travel, we should do a Windows version of this. This is what people want. This is the information people want. They want control. And all these mainframes that are running the systems of the travel industry. The travel industry was IBM's. I met Imran's son, who's here, who works at IBM right here. The whole family's here. IBM's biggest industrial customer was financial services. The next biggest was the travel industry, the airline systems. And as some of you may know, Microsoft was all about putting the mainframe out of business and replacing it with PCs. And so I said, Bill, it's nothing but mainframes back there that are driving this, and we can build this on Windows NT, and we can rebuild it and do it better. And so he kind of, his eyes were wide like a child, but he had daddy's wallet, he said, off and away.
And what questions did they fire at you at that time when you had this great idea?
How are you going to get what any venture capitalist would ask? How are you going to get users? How are you going to get people to use it?
And what's your response as he's firing this off to you?
I didn't know. I was like 25.
Right?
But I figured, here's what I figured. I figured if it was super compelling, if like I was giving a magic tool to somebody that they'd never had before, like the marketing would work itself out. Like we'd be able to get people to talk about it, right?
But does Bill and Steve buy that stuff? They're pragmatic business people. Do
No. They're like, you know, they absolutely believe that because of Microsoft's power with consumers, that I would have a huge marketing and distribution advantage, and they were absolutely right.